I keep seeing this discourse on TikTok about single moms and dating single moms and who doesn't want to date single moms and oh, you're not worthy and all this stuff. Blah, blah, blah. As a former single mom of two kids with two baby daddies, I have the room to say what I'm about to say. Every time you have another kid by another man or kids by multiple men, your dating pool of men that will take you serious and want to date you to marry you and see you as a wifey prospect and see you as somebody they want to build their life with and take serious gets smaller, 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 smaller. And that
It's very true. She gonna get a lot of hate for this. I got a feeling the things that she's about to say. I just really got a feeling that they're gonna ruffle a lot of feathers. But you can't discredit what she's saying because she just prefaced this with she's got two kids by two different men.
that's just bottom line, period, end of story, end of discussion, no argument. And that's a hard truth to swallow as a woman that, hey, I made this decision thinking I trusted this person and wanted to have a family with this person and it didn't work out. And now because of that, there's like a whole group of men that don't even like see me as a dating. Yes, yes, yes. And that's just it.
Having two kids by two different men, that is definitely going to hurt your chances of finding a third guy because what can you give him? And this is what they're going to think in many cases. What can you give them that you haven't already given one of your baby daddies? I mean, obviously, and this is to be funny, but obviously you're not a virgin anymore, so you can't give them that. You can't give them their first kid. You've given two different guys kids, so you can't give them his first kid. It's like really the things that men value in a woman. In many cases, you've already given them to guys that ultimately you decided not to be with, or it just didn't work out for one reason or another. And honestly, they don't want to be that guy you're settling for. The previous guys a lot of times got the nastiest, freest, most sexually liberated version of you. And now you're coming to this guy and you want to be a total prude. You don't want to do this anymore. You don't want to do that anymore. And they're just like, dang, well, why not? No guy wants to feel like he's getting less than the previous guy. And it's not all about that, but that does play a significant part. No guy wants to feel like he gets a lesser version of you than the previous guy because I'm the guy who's here, who's gonna wife you, whatever. Why in the world should I get some prude version of you rather than that fun version of you that you were for these other guys?
And as a former single mom, I had to come to terms with that, and that hurt. It hurt me that, hey, like it's not my fault. I'm a single mom. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People need to understand that single moms also come with a lot of fucking baggage. It's not even just about, hey, you had a kid with another man, you already started a family, or you're used goods. It has nothing, like, there's so much more to why people don't want to date single moms.
That does play a part though. Those things that she listed for a lot of different guys, that does play a part. So can't just gloss over that.
The fucking baggage, the mental baggage, the emotional, physical, financial, like, there's so much fucking baggage. A lot of single moms come from abusive, fucked up, mentally, emotionally draining, traumatic relationships and aren't healed. And that in itself is baggage. Being abused is baggage. Trauma is baggage. All that stuff, trust issues, being cheated on, it's baggage. It's baggage, it's baggage, it's back. And a lot of us.
That's not exclusive to single moms. There's just a lot of women out here on the dating scene that they just have not healed at all. It's not exclusive to single moms even a little bit. You can find women out here that are totally childless and they have the same sort of emotional baggage, the same emotional traumas. They've been through some of the same ones. A lot of them have been cheated on and they had bad experiences with previous guys and now they're with the new guy. He just got here and they're going to make him pay for all of the things that the previous guy did. Right out the gate, she's like asking him who is he texting whenever he pulls out his phone. Right out the gate, if he gets home later than she thinks he should from work, she's questioning, well, did you stop off somewhere? Things like that. That shows you that a woman has been through some really bad experiences in a previous relationship and she still has not healed from that. And expecting the guy that's here now to basically pay for the mistakes that the previous guy made. That's a bit silly, but this is what happens when a woman is trying to date and she hasn't quite healed from past traumas.
Don't take the time to heal. A lot of us leave our abusers, our liars, our cheaters, our narcissists, and then we jump right back into the dating game. No therapy, no.
All right, I got to address the narcissist thing. Narcissistic personality disorder is a uncommon thing, very uncommon. Yet every woman has dated a narcissist. That is thrown out way too often. I swear, if you ask 10 women what went wrong in their last relationship, probably 9 of them are gonna suggest that the guy was a narcissist in some way, even though that is a very uncommon trait.
Healing, no taking the time for ourselves to find ourselves, to get over what the fuck we went through, and then we take all that baggage and try to find a man to save us, and that's just not it. You shouldn't be looking at dating as a single mom as like a savior, or hey, this person's gonna bail me out or help me with these kids and we're gonna be like, you should be dating for love. You should be dating to meet your partner.
That sounds really, I don't know. It sounds really fantasy at this point. Well, depending on the age of the woman. If it's a woman that's still in her 20s, whatever, she might still be trying to date for love. Once she's reached 30 and on, they need help in many cases. They're not looking for love, they're looking for help. So whether they should be looking for love or not, it's not really gonna happen. And I catch a lot of flack whenever I say this, but this is why I'm against dudes being stepfathers. Majority of the time, that woman that you being a stepdaddy for never would have looked at you when she was in her prime. When she was in high school, she didn't look at you. When she was 22, 23, 24, when she was at her physical peak, she was out there throwing it back for the Pookies and the Ray Rays, and she wasn't thinking nothing about you. In fact, there's probably a couple times where the dude slid into her inbox on Facebook or whatever, and she left the motherfucker on red. Now that the type of guys that she prefers to be with aren't reaching out to her anymore for a good time, now you're good enough. And guys don't like hearing that, but it is what it is. And the majority of the time when the guys don't like hearing that is because I've held a mirror up to them. This is the reality that they're living in right now. They're fully aware of it, but they try to never mind it. So when they hear a guy like myself bring that up, they resent me for it. They want to make it seem like, oh, I'm just a hater or I don't know what I'm talking about. No, I know what I'm talking about, and you know what I'm talking about. That's why you're so triggered.
Now, as a single mom, obviously that's just something that you would understand, like, hey, if a man comes in my life, he's obviously going to step into a certain role, but you shouldn't be dating a man looking for a fucking bailout, a fucking savior. And that's how men see it. Like, especially when you have a lot of baggage and you're not healed, they always think, like, what are you dating for? Like, they see, men can see when you're not healed. Men can see when you're vulnerable and traumatized. They see that. They know that. And they feed off of it. And they're like, well, I'm not going to take her serious because she's obviously still mentally fucked up from the last shit. And so she's definitely not looking for actually love. She's looking for somebody to fill the void, somebody to band-aid the hurt and fix the pain. She's not ready to actually open up and start a new connection with somebody.
It's such a bad deal, like getting with a woman that has kids. Now, I'm not saying that it never works out, but for it to work out, you have to accept what a bad deal that it is for you. You have to step in and raise another man's children. And there's just not a whole lot of benefit to that. If you can say there's any benefit to it. They like to say, oh, children are blessing or whatever. Another man's children are not a blessing to me. They hate to hear that because it's not politically correct or whatever. Men accept bad situations because they think that it's the right thing to do. And men don't want to be honest about certain situations because they're afraid of the ridicule and judgment that'll come with it. And we really have to stop that. Getting with a woman that has 2, 3 kids, whatever, that you're going to have to, these are now kids that you're going to have to buy new clothes for when school starts. These are kids you're gonna have to buy Easter things for, buy candy for Halloween, buy Christmas gifts for, buy the iPhones, the Jordans, the PlayStations. You're gonna get all that. And I always see the biological father almost get a pass. So he got to have the fun making the kids, but you're stuck with all of the cost of raising the kids. It's just a really bad situation for a guy, especially if he doesn't have kids already. Even if he does have kids, if he ends up living with this woman, he's going to be seeing her kids more than his own. There's just really not a lot of upside for the guy. He's going to end up spending more money on another man's kids than he does on his own. And we're not talking about just gifts and whatnot. If those kids are living in the same house with him, ultimately he's going to end up spending more money on them, spending more time with them, putting more resources towards them than he does the kids that he has that live with their mom. So this is why blended families, they're just not meant to be a thing. This is why you should wait to have children with the guy that you're going to be with. I know that sounds old school and idealistic, but it worked. It worked. It really did. It worked. We cannot look at the metrics of the way things are going now and say that this new way is working better than the old way, because it's not.
And that's what y'all don't understand. Men can see when a single mom is vulnerable. And then that's another thing. You guys open yourselves up to meet more abusers, predators, people who see you as a vulnerable single mom who needs help, and they pop in as saviors. These are the people who abuse your kids, abuse you. Like, it's just a whole lot of baggage, and it's too much for some people. Like, hey, I just want to date. I don't want to think so deeply into things. I don't want to have to worry about this and worry about that and make a relationship with this kid and that kid and this dad and that dad. Like, that's a lot for people. Why?
And if things don't work out with you and the woman, not only do you lose the relationship with her, you lose the relationship with the kids. That might be the worst aspect of all, because the other things that I talked about, they were pretty bad. But the fact that because this isn't your kid, if you and her break up, or when y'all break up, whatever, y'all go y'all separate ways, all that time, energy, and love that you put into that kid, it's for naught. If she doesn't want you to continue to see the kid anymore, you're not going to, and there's not a thing you could do about it. So it's just a really bad deal overall for men when it comes to dating single moms. I say this as a guy who used to date single moms. Yeah, I used to date. I have a video right now. You guys can find it on my channel where I give a couple of my experiences. I talk about them, a couple of my experiences of what it was like dating single moms. I don't recommend it. As a guy who's dated single moms before, I do not recommend it. If I were to date a woman that has kids now, they got to be grown. They got to be grown. They got to be out the house, all this sort of stuff. I don't want to do none of the kiddie stuff. I don't want to go to Chuck E. Cheese. I don't want to go to Disney movies. I don't want to do none of that stuff at the age that I am now. So she's got to have grown kids. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. I'm going to go ahead and cut this here. I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.